We're getting good at this.
Dua Lipa shuts down rumors that she's performing at the World Cup opening ceremony in Qatar. Basically, what happened here is people are like, they thought that she was going to perform there, but Qatar has very, very pronounced a human rights record that falls below what people would consider to be the standard of human care.
How to treat LGBT citizens and
not just
women.
that, and women, yeah.
Well, also like in the building of the stadium that they've had going on. I was just seeing a report on NPR this morning. Like, people die because they don't have like worker protection.
Oh god.
Here's her statement. She says, there is currently a lot of speculation that I will be performing at the opening ceremony of the World Cup in Qatar. I will not be performing, and nor have I been involved in any negotiation to perform. I will be cheering England on from afar, and I look forward to visiting Qatar when they fulfilled all the human rights pledges it made when it's won the right to host the World Cup.
This is kind of ironic because Dua Lipa has received a lot of hate for being like pro-Albanian. She is Albanian herself, and a lot of people have said that she is an imperialist scumbag, that she is like I mean, I don't know everything about that geopolitical conflict about Kosovo, but she
Mary,
is
why
not
not?
clear.
Why are you not an expert on Kosovo?
She's not cleared of blame in terms of like human rights violations in their eyes. So I don't know why she's decided to be so outspoken about this. I don't even know if those rumors actually were floating around about her performing at the World Cup, because some people are saying she only responded to shut them down as a PR stunt.
I will also say that she did perform a song on a Disney soundtrack for She-Hulk, and Disney works with the Chinese government to suppress the Uyghurs in China. So, you know,
No one is clear of blame here. Okay?
Pick your outrage and go with it. Everyone is a hypocrite.
It's true.
So basically they go on and they talk about this. And then Rod Stewart as well says that he revealed a $1 million offer. Yes, Rod Stewart. I remember my mom had a Rod Stewart CD at home. I still remember that. A $1 million offer to perform in, do you guys pronounce it Qatar or Qatar? Qatar.
But
That's
maybe I'm ignorant.
In the lead up to the FIFA World Cup, the music legend sat down with the Sunday Times and shared that he once rejected the hefty amount to play a show in the Gulf country. I was actually offered a lot of money, over $1 million to play there 15 months ago, he said. I turned it down, and it's not right to go. And the Iranians should be out too for supplying arms. Well, in that case, should America be out of this for supplying arms to Ukraine? Does it just depend on who you?
No, that's
does it just depend on? Yes, I said everyone's a hypocrite, ladies and gentlemen. Not to make this too political. I'm just saying that we live in a globalized society now where entertainment, politics, and culture all intertwine. And if you're going to get on your high horse, you better be ready to kicked off of it, because you will eventually be made out to be a hypocrite in some way, shape, or form. I was curious as to what the other celebrities were saying, and there was a list of them here of ones that had spoken out against this, and most of them were ones you haven't heard of, or at least I hadn't heard of. Melanie C. I knew, because I like the Spice Girls growing up. Who didn't, right? No one, just me.
I think you were growing up with the Spice Girls and we were not.
I was not.
I don't know who Ian Hislop is. Does anybody know who that is? Beth Mead. Sorry.
You're like the king of knowing who obscure celebrities are. So if you don't know who they are, we're hopeless here.
I like that it's like, here's a list of celebrities, and none of us are like.
The only one on here I knew, other than a few,
might
was
call them
Prince
celebrities.
Prince William. Prince William is president of the Football Association, a title which would suggest he is going to the World Cup games. However, the Sun reported that Prince William is not expected to visit during the tournament, although it could be due to his schedule as Prince of Wales. Would that come into conflict with his obligations as part of the royal family?
I don't.
What do you
think
mean?
so.
Well, are they like? Would they? Are they not? I'm literally asking.
I mean, there are. I don't know a lot about the rules and essentially morality clauses for members of the royal family, but I don't think that would be one of them.
Yeah.
I think the only thing would be like potential diplomatic issues.
That's what I mean. Is this?
And that might be exactly why he is not
conflict?
attending.
That was what I meant.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was saying. Like, is it a diplomatic concern because of his role as a member of the royal family? So they talk here about a lot of what these concerns are. They talk about how lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people's rights are not permitted there.
And there's an Australian player who like specifically said, like, if we get to go, I am not going because of these issues, because I'm gay. He did that like last year.
Putting your money where your mouth is, at least.
Yes, I like don't just say one thing and do the other. Stand up for what you believe in there. They have a penal code that criminalizes all forms of sex outside of marriage with sentences up to 7 years in prison. If they're Muslim, they can also be sentenced to flogging or stoning.
There's like writing that one down.
Women
Taking notes for when I'm dictator.
Women have been disproportionately prosecuted because pregnancy serves as evidence of the so-called crime, and that reporting rape can be deemed as a confession. Police often disregard women who report such violence, instead believing the men who claim it was consensual. And then they go down to freedom of expression, freedom of the press are all things that are concerns there. And this is just the world we live in now.
This is nothing out of the ordinary
for
legislation in like African or Middle Eastern countries.
Like,
and we talk about it all the time with like box office
Eastern
releases.
Well, I think this was one of the, was it this or was it Kuwait that
banned
Black
at least
Panther?
cut out the scene that was in Wakanda Forever,
I think
right?
that one got banned, and then the rest of them.
Oh,
no.
I thought they just cut out the scene of the lesbian couple in Wakanda Forever that was like literally half a second long.
Less than
like the Bud Light kiss, right?
Exactly, and it's like, well, you didn't need to put it there in the first place. To Kuwait's defense,
can you tell me what was going on with the soccer stadium? Oh, sorry.
I don't want to comment on too much.
Football
something
stadium.
about how they can't unionize.
I don't want to comment on it too much because I was listening to it while I drove into work and I don't remember all the details. But like, so one of the things that happens is it needs to be constructed, right? So they bring in people, especially impoverished people from like neighboring countries, and they'll be like, come work in our country and send money back to your family. But there are the companies that are in charge of these contracts, like, don't have great conditions for their workers.
Yeah,
and
they
there
have
are
a thing here for migrant workers'
there
rights.
are a lot of reports of migrants dying like on the job, and like the families being notified through friends of friends who are also there, kind of thing, which is obviously like pretty devastating. On the other hand, this is a whole immigration comment that I won't bring up. But it's this is the thing, like, it's the Middle East, and we always have let Middle Eastern countries be held to a different standard than we hold Western countries. And so like this is one of those moments where we like have to make a decision, like, are their values stuff that we can't support, even if they're intrinsic to their culture? Or are we okay with certain cultures having values that are different than ours?
That's actually really interesting, because now I feel like say with Disney, and they're putting their foot down, they're like, we will not release these movies here because they don't support LGBTQ rights.
Only the appearance of putting their foot down.
But the point is that like they didn't have a problem when it was women's rights that were being trampled. Only,
because they're lower on the totem pole in Western countries.
Well, my point is, like, that's cultural. Like, you don't understand. Middle Eastern culture is different. They're meant These are the justifications that we get all the time.
Here's why FGM is okay.
There's
like, that's literally what it is.
There's a comment from JB says, we have nukes. It's soccer.
That's funny. I saw a lot of comments on the article about Dua Lipa that were just like, I want to announce that I will not be performing as well, even though I was never asked. I am turning it down now to avoid any confusion.
Just so, yes, I don't want to.
Or like, it was like, I just ate an avocado. It was tasty. So like, this is kind of pretty far from what ordinary people actually give a shit about, obviously.
Also, like, I'm gonna love with you, Dua Lipa. I mean, she's British, so maybe it's a bigger deal for her. But like, American audience is already like, what sports thing that's going on?
Same thing with like any news about Meghan Markle.
Oh, that was awful. What was the name of the episode
can't make
again?
Americans care about her.
Something of the audacity of the activist. The newest episode of Meghan Markle's amazing podcast, Archetypes.
Meghan Markle is literally like, it's one of those things where when we talk about her,
Ollie London should hang out. They are trying to stay relevant.
She should be on the next episode of Archetypes.
When we talk about her, it's so fleeting, because it's like there's no bone, there's no
nothing
meat
to talk
there's
about.
no
She's
meat
not
to
really
anything.
a person.
She's like Emily Ratatouille in that, like, I just don't see
Emily Ratatouille.
Ratajkowski.
Emrata.
I refuse.
Oh,
yeah.
that girl.
Like, there's so little there that it's like, you can't really define what makes a story. Like, when we cover it, you just know, right?
Sorry.
Meghan Markle is essentially like made of wax.
For some reason, when you said Emily Ratatouille, I thought you were referring to like the female lead, like romantic interest in the movie Ratatouille. And I was like, what a fun obscure.
I didn't know we had beef with her, but okay, I'll go with it.
He's saying like, she's irrelevant. She barely has a storyline.
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.